North of the Blues market overview for October 5th, 2010. I'm going to go ahead and look at some of the key indexes, starting with S&P 500 SPY ETF. Alright, as you can see here, we actually had a very large gap up day. I had released an email and also said, actually on my personal Facebook, that the key support and resistance are $113.25 and $115. Well, yesterday for Monday, we actually came down and tested that support line at $113.25. We closed above that point, and today we had the market gap up and open quite a bit high and actually close just over $116. The other thing I had said was that we possibly have a power W in the makes in the 85% area, and the key factor was that if this support line was breached and it actually closed below $113.25, most likely today would have been pushed below the 85% zone, which would have told us to exit the stock, and most likely exit a lot of stocks throughout the S&P 500 and a lot of the other market areas. But today, instead, we had a very large gain, and this pushed up to bounce off the 85% for the second time, might I add. So we're actually seeing sort of a W right here, and I expect, unless more bad news from Europe, which would push the dollar up, therefore pushing the markets down, I think that's the only way our markets are going to actually head down at this point. So let's go ahead and take a look at the NASDAQ. And today we had a very large buy day as well, gapped up again, and as you can see, it just jumped right off that 85% mark at this point too. There's not really a power W right there, so I'm not very excited about that. But as you can see, it was a nice little bounce off. So let's go look at the Dow Jones DIA. Right here we have more of a power W than the NASDAQ, but not as a very good one as the S&P 500. So almost tested that $107 support line yesterday. Didn't quite touch down to it. Today we are testing resistance. Actually, it tested a resistance point. Couldn't quite close above it, I don't think. We can't see the support line here, but we know it's there. So now let's actually go ahead and take a look at the AMC charting with the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ and the Dow. So with this, we actually were getting very flat yesterday. If we take a look back on Monday, it was almost a time to exit because we were about to pass through the red moving average, and we see the yellow dropping close to the blue. But today, as you can see, we have actually bounced off. If we click on the bars, you can see that $115 point was breached. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Dow real quickly. Oops. Excuse me. And here is that support line that I was talking about, or resistance line. So it actually was bouncing off this price line for quite a while, and then we breached it today with a heavy buy point. And actually yesterday we actually see we can created another support line right there. So that'll be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if now we are going to test the support line even more so. And this is actually almost gone all the way up into the 85% in the AMC charting. Which this is the chart I use to enter stocks and then watch them as they pass through this red line. So the Qs, as you can see, the Qs were having a tough time staying above. They actually were pushed down Thursday, Friday, almost all last week, just with slight losses. But now we had a very large gain. So that's all the time I have for the market overview. Tune in next time. Thank you.